everyone? Welcome to Barca News and welcome to the post-match live analysis where we react to Barcelona matches or where we analyze Barcelona matches as soon as they're done. Today, we're going to be talking about Barcelona's victory over Sevilla 5-2 with a hat trick. Yes, you heard that right. Hat trick of Coutinho. A golazo by Dani Olmo and another golazo by Joao Cancelo. Now, I gotta say, today I'm incredibly happy because today, as the thumbnail suggests, is a very special day to be a Barcelona fan. Today is a great day to be a Barcelona fan. And I'm not just talking about the victory. Because, of course, the victory was very important. Yesterday, Real penalties defeated Elche in their respective match. So they closed down the distance between them and us to 1 point. So today, the victory was very important in order to extend that lead back to 4 points. So yes, I'm very happy about the victory. Yes, I'm very happy about the 3 points. Yes, I'm very happy to be 4 points ahead of Real penalties. But that wasn't the only reason, or that's not the only reason why I'm happy. Today was also a special day. It was a historic day because, of course, today the North Goal reopened. The North Goal reopened for the first time since the stadium closed over, 2.5 years, 3 years, something like that. And the Camp Nou's capacity went back up to 60,000 people. Amazing, amazing day. I mean, to see the images and to see the two first rings completely full of people all around instead of having that, empty space and the North Goal was really spectacular. Today, the supporter section was back. After a year and a half of being away, the supporter section is officially back, of course, in a new section of the stadium. Instead of North Goal, now they're sitting in South Goal in a new section called the Goal 1957 in honor of the inauguration of the stadium. So that was also very special because what a difference it makes to have a supporter section, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, you can hear it in the speakers as you were watching the game, the drums, the chanting, the singing. I mean, beautiful, beautiful day. Also, today is election day, and as I've always said, that is a special thing because not many clubs get to do this, ladies and gentlemen. Not many clubs get to choose who is their president. So another special day. Voting was open until 9 p.m. It's already 10 p.m. now in Spain, so the polls are officially closed. We'll see whether Barcelona will announce a winner tonight or whether they'll announce it tomorrow, but that also makes this day a special day. And finally, Gabi, ladies and gentlemen, Gabi is back. Gabi is back today. Not only did he get his medical clearance over the weekend, but today he came on the pitch, and what a beautiful moment that we saw with the whole stadium giving him a standing ovation, the whole stadium chanting his name. So today was a very special day, a historic day, a great day to be a Barcelona fan. We won. We reopened the North Goal. We'll reopen the supporter section. Gabi is back. And, of course, it is election day. Now, let's talk with more specificity about today's victory over Sevilla. And as always, I do like to, of course, start with the lineup. And then we will go over the general sensation of the team. And then finally, we'll discuss specific players. But this is the lineup that Hansi Flick chose for today. Some rotations there because, of course, we do have the midweek match against Newcastle in the round of 16 of the Champions League. But, of course, Juan Garcia in goal. Xavi Espart, ladies and gentlemen, getting his first start. And, by the way, really good minutes. We'll talk about him in a little bit more. On the left, we had Joao Cancelo, who had a spectacular match. And, of course, our two center backs, Pau Garcia and Gerard Maldini. Well, ladies and gentlemen, when these two together, Barcelona do not lose. Barcelona do not lose. Now, in a double pivot, we had Pedri and Marc Bernal, who later came off in order to rest them ahead of the Newcastle match. Dani Olmo in the attacking mid, who later dropped to the double pivot with Fermin Lopez coming on. And then our front three, Coutinho with his hat-trick, Rooney Bardaji, giving some rest to Lamine Yamal. I really like that now. So ahead of the Newcastle match. And then Robert Lewandowski, who honestly out of that whole squad was probably the only player that was a little bit disappointing today. Now, let's talk about the general sensation because today's victory was an easy victory for Barcelona. I expected a more difficult match. Sevilla did beat us in the first half of the season. They scored 4 goals against us, so I expected this to be a little bit more difficult, a little bit more challenging, but not at all. This was an easy match for Barcelona. This was a low effort match by Barcelona, which again, really great news because we do have that Newcastle match. So not only did we were able to rotate, but in general, even the players who played the full 90 minutes, they did not have to exert themselves that much. So an easy victory for Barcelona, who dominated from the first second until the final second of the match. A Barcelona that was very clinical and very precise. And I like that because we haven't seen precision in quite some time. We've seen a lot of bad passes lately. We've seen a lot of our front attack not being clinical with the chances that they were getting, but not the case today. Today, Barcelona was very precise in their passing. They were very clinical in front of goal. And this, of course, is reflected in the score 5-2. Hell, it could have been even 8-2 because there was 3 chances that were wasted, 2 by Lewy, 1 by Araujo. So this could have been even a bigger scoreline. But today, Barcelona very clinical and very precise. And this is something I mentioned a lot on the channel and that today I finally got to see in action was the quick movement of the ball. Today, we did not see a Barcelona moving the ball very slowly, very lethargic from side to side, very, very predictable. Instead, today, we saw Barcelona going back to the basics of being a Barcelona team, which is the triangulation, the quick first touch passes, the tiki-taka that drove people crazy. Today, we saw that. We saw that, of course, with Flick's twist on it, where the passing is a little bit longer and the triangles move a little bit quicker. But today, we finally saw that quick ball movement that we've been asking this team to implement. And voila, what do you know? 5 goals. There could have been even more because that's what happens when you move the ball quickly. You can get through defenses. You can unlock defenses. You can break their lines. And that's exactly what happened today. Now, overall, I'm not going to say this was a stellar match by Barcelona. It was not, but not because they did something bad. It's because there was no need to do a stellar match because, after all, it was Sevilla. It was a match that the team easily dominated, and it was a match where Barcelona were able to wrap it up early on. So a very serious match by Barcelona, and this, of course, is very, very important ahead of the Newcastle match because not only, again, we were allowed to rotate, not only did we not have to exert ourselves, so our players are going to be well rested, but also because this is a good match to have that confidence boost, right? Especially for the players who've been going through a rut. For example, Dani Olmo, Rafinha himself, these players who haven't been doing too well in the last few matches. This is a great match for them to raise their spirits, to boost their morale, because today both Olmo and Rafinha had great matches. So hopefully this will help them, with their match against Newcastle. So not much to say about the match. Serious match by Barcelona where they were very precise, very clinical, where they moved the ball quickly. And as such, this was reflected in the result with an easy win over Sevilla that pretty much had no response besides those 2 late goals in the final seconds of each half. One came in the first half, another one came in the second half. I was not happy about that whatsoever because both goals by Sevilla were errors by the defense where the defense falls asleep completely. And that is not okay. That is not acceptable. I mean, this could have easily been a 5-0, but instead it's a 5-2 because of those 2 silly mistakes. The team cannot fall asleep. Even though they were winning, even though it was literally the last second of added time, you cannot fall asleep. As long as the game is going, you cannot fall asleep. The game is not over until that referee blows the whistle, and these players need to learn that. But again, we got the victory. Easy victory, so I'm not going to be too mad about those 2 mistakes, but those 2 mistakes cannot be repeated, especially in something like the Champions League. Now, let's talk about players. Because Cubarsí and Gerard Maldini, man, they've been stellar together, and we thought Cubarsí and Eddie Garcia were stellar. Now it's Cubarsí and Gerard Martini were stellar. Honestly, I don't know who to pick if I was Flick. And now Flick, I think, has a big dilemma. Is it Cubarsí and Martin? Is it Cubarsí and Eric? Or maybe since Koundé is injured, we can have Cubarsí and Martin and then Eddie Garcia as our right back. But an incredible match by those two. Gerard Martin really improving his build-up from the back, man. We always knew, that he was a defensive player because he's always played as a left back. And when we moved into center back, he continued to do well defensively speaking. But his build-up from the back has improved a lot. I mean, what is it? The third goal is that, almost third goal. I mean, that all starts with Gerard Martin. He has the ball, passes it to Lewy in a 1-2. Lewy passes it back to him, And then Gerard Martin puts in this incredible pass, breaking all of Sevilla's lines, leaving Dani Olmo on the left completely by himself. Sorry, not Dani Olmo. Marc Bernal on the left completely by himself. And then Bernal serves up an exquisite cross into the penalty spot. And then Olmo hits it like a pro. I mean, the way he opens up his hips and just sends the ball to the far post. I mean, an incredible, incredible goal, an incredible team effort. And it all starts with Gerard Martin, man. Gerard Martin is really, he's really growing into that builder kind of player, you know, where not only is he good defensively, but he can also build from the back. So a spectacular match for both Gerard Martin and Pau Cubarsí. Xavi Espar today getting his star. I think what really good match by him. I mean, it wasn't like anything spectacular or anything to rave about, but he did his job. He's a player that he doesn't like to complicate himself or complicate the people around him. He makes the pass when he has to make the pass. He turns around and makes a back pass when he has to make a back pass. He runs when he has to run. Doesn't complicate anything. He does his job. He does what he's supposed to do. And today, a solid match by Xavi Espar. Obviously, he's not at the level now of competing with Koundé, but definitely as a good player to have there on the bench for when Koundé is injured, when Koundé needs to rest, or when Koundé is suspended. Now, of course, he is only 18 years old, so he's only going to keep getting better. At this point, again, I think it's great to have him as a rotational player on the first squad, but I'm sure as he gets better, who knows, maybe he could be real competition for Jules Koundé. Now, on the other side, we got to talk about Cancelo because, my God, Cancelo is shutting me up, ladies and gentlemen. Cancelo is shutting me up. And I am loving it because Cancelo today, another spectacular match. You know, the first match that he had, what was it, like 2-3 matches ago? That was the first match where he had a really good one. And we said, okay, that's cool. Cancelo, we know he's capable of, we know he's capable of, putting on good performances. We've seen it before. The question is, can he keep up those performances? Can he be consistent? Next match, good performance. Next match, good performance. Today, another good performance. So Cancelo, ladies and gentlemen, is shutting me up, is proving me wrong, and I'm absolutely loving it. I mean, Cancelo's offensive output has been out of this world, but that's not all. We've always known that Cancelo, offensively speaking, is a great player. The problem has always been with him defensively, but no. Now we're seeing Joao Cancelo track back. Now we're seeing Joao Cancelo helping with the press. Now we're seeing Joao Cancelo helping with the recovery of the ball. I mean, Cancelo, ladies and gentlemen, he is not only maintaining that offensive output that we all know he has, but now he's even improving defensively. And I don't know if this is Cancelo just, trying to prove himself because, he doesn't want to go back to Saudi, or if this is Flick. Maybe it's a combination of both because after all, Flick, I mean, everything that Flick touches just becomes great. I mean, speaking of Gerard Martin, who we were speaking about a few seconds ago, and when I talked about this during the watch along, Gerard Martin, under any other circumstances, not only would he not be starting for the first team, he might not even be playing with the first team. I mean, Gerard Martin was a Barca Athletic signing. This is not a player that Barcelona signed because he's promising, and they were like, all right, he's a first team signing, but we're going to have him play with Barca Athletic while he develops. No. He was a Barca Athletic signing, and that's it. That's it. That's where he was supposed to stay. Comes Hansi Flick, turns him into Gerard Maldini, and not only is he now playing with the first team, he's starting with the first team, and he's excelling, right? Rafinha, up to this point, an average player. Comes Hansi Flick, turns him into freaking Coutinho. Even Ferran Torres, who we complain about. I mean, where would Ferran Torres be without Flick? I mean, Flick really turned him into a shark, right? Every now and then, he goes back to being a sardine. But nonetheless, I mean, everything that Flick touches turns into gold. And I think that's what he's doing with Joao Cancelo. I feel like if you brought Hansi Flick a big pile of manure of just like cow shit and just dump it on him, Hansi Flick would go like start shaping it into a person, breathe life into that pile of poop, turn it into an actual person, and then develop them into a great player. Because Hansi Flick, ladies and gentlemen, what a match by Cancelo. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'm loving that he's proving me wrong. I hope that he continues to prove me wrong because we need it, right? This is the final stretch of the season. This is where the league and the Champions League are won or lost. Midfield, Marc Bernal. People the other day, I said it's going to be Bernal and Pedri, the future of our midfield. They're like, you're crazy. There's no way Bernal can bench Frankie, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. Do you guys feel the absence of Frankie at this point? Because I don't. I mean, Bernal, ladies and gentlemen, he's really growing into that role. I mean, today playing started in the midfield, but constantly going wide and playing as a winger. I mean, that pass that he served up to Dani Olmo in Dani Olmo's golazo. I mean, eh, my goodness. Bernal, ladies and gentlemen. You know, when Pedri is not on the field, you feel the difference, right? But are you feeling the difference with Frankie not on the field? I don't think so. And not because I'm here to bag on Frankie, but because Marc Bernal, bro, is really shining in that position. And I think he's going to continue shining. Remember, he's only 18 years old, maybe 19. He's only going to keep getting better and better and better. Coutinho today scoring a hat trick, 2 goals by penalty. The third goal, a little bit of luck there with when he takes a shot and then a little bit of deflection. But hey, you have to create your luck, you know. If he doesn't take that shot, there is no deflection, there is no goal. The 2 penalties, man, the first one with the Panenka, my goodness. I mean, you got to have balls of steel to score a Panenka penalty, and he did it like nothing. The second penalty, dude, I mean, the way he puts it so far, so close to the post, nothing the goalkeeper can do, even though he guessed. I mean, really good match by Coutinho, scoring those 3 goals, winning the MVP. And honestly, if it wasn't for his hat trick, this could have easily gone to Cancelo, because Cancelo's 5th goal, ladies and gentlemen, it was absolutely spectacular. The way he makes that deep run all the way to Sevilla's goal, cuts in, leaves the defender on the floor, that takes the shot. I mean, an incredible goal. But I do have to say this because, and I bring this up, even though I already talked about Cancelo, I bring up Cancelo's goal because I'm going to talk about Lewandowski next. Half of that goal was Lewandowski. Now, Lewandowski, really bad match. I think he's going through those, striker ruts where a striker's not scoring goals or it's not getting too many minutes. They go through a rut, and then they need that goal to gotta get the jitters away, and then they start scoring again. I think that's what he's going through, or maybe he's just old. Either way, whatever Lewandowski is going through, I hope he can overcome it, because a very disappointing match by Lewy. But I do have to give him the credit for Cancelo's 5th goal, because the way Lewandowski protects that ball, and then so Cancelo can receive it, and that leaves Cancelo completely by himself, which allows Cancelo to make the deep run. And then, of course, what Cancelo does later on, brilliant. The way he cuts in the middle, the way he takes a shot. But yeah, disappointing match by Lewy. Disappointing match by Bardakji, Rooney Bardakji. Very discreet match by Rooney Bardakji. This was his moment to shine. You know, he was starting ahead of Lamine. When are you going to see Bardakji starting ahead of Lamine? You know, you got to really take advantage of your opportunities when you get an opportunity like this one. And this one was Rooney Bardakji's opportunity to show, you know, what he has. And it was very disappointing, but I can't blame him. I mean, this is his first season. It's a season of adaptation. I mean, the guy came from the Swedish league. He's only 19. He's still adapted to Spanish football. He's still adapted to Barcelona style of football. He's not getting a lot of minutes, so it's kind of tough to get into that competitive rhythm. So discreet match by Bardakji, but I'm not going to come here and get all mad. I mean, it's understandable that he does. But anyways, that's all I have to say. Again, an easy match for Barcelona, a match where Barcelona dominated, a match where Barcelona were very clinical, very accurate with their passing, a match by Barcelona that moved the ball very quickly, and a very, very serious match. And this is that kind of match that we need to see against Newcastle, but of course with more intensity, because today there was no need for extra intensity because it was Sevilla. But against Newcastle, we're going to need it. But if this team brings on all the good stuff that they did today against Newcastle, but with more intensity, because it is Newcastle who press a lot, who very physical, I think we can pull a victory at home, which again, we have the North Goal reopen, we have the supporters section open, and the cherry on top of the cherry on top of the cherry on top of the cherry is, of course, that Gabi, our warrior, is back. All right, that's all I have to say about this match. Let's do some comments, and then we will end this live. I'm gonna go and have breakfast because, well, I haven't eaten. Let's see. I was gonna say, where did we leave off? We didn't leave off anywhere because we haven't started with the chat. MFA Scully says, hi, Mo. What's up, MFA Scully? What's up, NBA to 20,166? Baltrami says, hi, Mo. Baltris from Lithuania here. Oh, let's go all the way from Lithuania. I love it. I don't think I've ever had anyone on the live come from Lithuania. So that's amazing, man. Thank you for joining us all the way from Lithuania. I love it. Says, Love your content. Keep it up. Bisca Barca. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. I appreciate you. Street Fighter says Gabi returning against Sevilla. Yes, sir. Man, what a beautiful moment, huh? Let's see. What else? Spooky says, Mo, all the ultras back. No, the supporter section is back. The supporters section is not the ultras, okay? The ultras are banned. John Laporta banned them during his first presidency in the early 2000s, and they've been banned since then, rightfully so. Ultras is not the same as supporters, okay? The supporter section is made up of different peñas, which are official Barcelona supporter groups. The ultras, violent gangs, criminals, they kill people. They actually killed people. That's why they got banned. Very, very violent group. They're banned. I hope they always stay banned. And great game from the team. I hope the team gives their all for the Newcastle. I hope so, my friend. And my favorite catchphrase, Justice Boyo says, hello, Mo. Justice Boyo from the Gambia. Let's go. I'm so happy with the win today and move back to 4 points. So happy with Xavi Sparta and Cancelo's performance. Man, Cancelo, what a match. If Coutinho hadn't scored the hat trick, I think Cancelo could have easily gotten the MVP and would have been deservedly so. Hell, I would even give it to him despite Rafinha's hat trick, because, I mean, the two first goals by Rafinha are penalty, even though, don't get me wrong, that was very well taken penalties. But let's not forget, those penalties were generated by Cancelo. Both plays, Cancelo generated in the first one. He had a 1-2 with Rafinha. Rafinha serves up the ball to him in the box. He comes running. Boom, he gets taken down from the back. The second one, same thing. He's running into the box, and then the Sevilla defender extends his arm. By the way, real quickly before I forget, because I know some people were confused about the penalty. Why is it a penalty? Here's the thing. If you fall up with your arm extended and the ball hits your arm, that's not a penalty, right? Because you fell with your arm extended and there's nothing you can do, right? It's not like you can remove it out of the way. You can't. You're falling. In this case, the guy didn't fall with his arm extended. He falls. Once on the ground, he extends his arm to block the pathway of Cancelo or the pathway of the ball or the pathway of both. That's why it's a penalty. That's why at first the referee did not blow the whistle, because he sees that and he sees what we all saw, a guy on the ground with his arm extended. So you're like, okay, that's not a penalty, right? If you fall with your arm extended and the ball hits your arm, there's nothing you could do besides chop it up. But then they show the replay and you see that he falls, and once on the ground, completely on the ground, he extends it. That's why it's a penalty. I know there were some people who were like, why is this penalty? Why is penalty? Sid says, is Eric Garcia injured? No, Eric Garcia had some overload. That's why he didn't play against Newcastle, but now he is back. Let's see. Denzel says, what a fantastic performance by the team. Hopefully we can replicate it on Wednesday. I hope so too, my friend. I hope so too. And Goody Man says, Laporta won. I don't think so. I mean, he is going to win. I don't think but I don't think so. Let me see. The ballots closed an hour ago in Spain. But I don't think we have a result yet. Let me double check. Yeah, I'm watching. I got the Twitter page of Barcelona, and it says that the count has. Oh no, wait. Maybe he did win. Hold on. It's not announced on the website or the Twitter pages. It just says that the count is undergoing. But right now, I clicked on the Twitter page, the live feed of the Twitter page, which, by the way, did you guys know Twitter pages have live feed? I had no idea. But the Twitter page of Barcelona has a live feed. I clicked on it, and they're showing Jan Laporta, and he's hugging people. So I'm guessing he won, even though the title just says the vote counting has begun. That's what the title says of the live. But they're also showing Jan Laporta hugging people. I'm very confused. Because there's nothing on the website about who the winner is. It just says that they have started counting the ballots. Twitter is saying that they're counting the ballots, but it's the feed of Laporta hugging people. So is he just hugging people because he missed those people, or is he hugging people because he's the winner? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I mean, it's got to be Laporta who's going to win. That's no secret. But I don't think it's official because I don't see an official announcement on any of Barcelona's pages. But let's see. Seymour says, I think it's a combination of both. I'm guessing you're talking about Cancelo, and his incredible form these last few matches. Okay, the feed is showing that they are starting to cut open the ballot boxes. Yeah, no, I don't think there's an official winner. Because the feed right now, the Barcelona feed about the elections is showing the people counting the votes. They're like opening the ballot boxes, like they're zip tied and they're like cutting the zips and they're starting to open them to take out and count the ballots. So I don't think there's an official winner. No, I mean it is gonna be Laporta, obviously, but no, there's no official winner. Let's see. Abhimon says we felt it against Newcastle. Mo, don't downplay Frankie. Did we though? Did we feel it because Frankie wasn't there, or did we feel it because the whole team was shit? It's a big difference. Big difference. Dr. Knight says, against low blocking teams, Bernal is superb, but against high pressing team, he is shaky, probably because he's a kid, but I'm sure he will be FDJ Pro Max if Frankie is fit. He starts for now. I don't think it's going to be Bernal's going to be Frankie Pro Max. I think he's going to be Busquets. The next Busquets, because he's very similar to Busquets, the way he controls the space, the way he moves with the ball, like just easy, he does just the easy spins. Easy. They look easy, but they're not. The way he distributes the ball, I think he's a true Busquets. But with the added bonus that he could score. I mean, he's scored already 4 goals. And plus with the added bonus that he's freaking huge. I mean, Busquets was super tall, but Busquets was very skinny. Bernal is just as tall, but also like physical. So, man, Pedri Bernal. That's gonna be an incredible duo. Bala Chandru says, Mo, Laporta won the elections. No official winner, ladies and gentlemen. No official winner. Okay. I don't know where did this come out. I mean, he's gonna win. I know he's gonna win, but no winner. So right now, the Barcelona feed right now is that they are counting the ballots. So there's no official winner declared. Let's see. Mr. Gamer says, hello, Mo. Noda from Georgia here. Do you think we should extend the loan for Cancelo like for another year? If he continues on this path, Cancelo continues killing it like he's doing it right now, I don't see why not. Would I sign him on a permanent transfer? Probably not because of his age, right? Right now, we need someone young on the wing, on the fullbacks that can compete with Koundé and Balde. But another season loan, if he continues to play like this, absolutely. I mean, Cancelo's been amazing, man. Let's see. Mr. Steeler Swag says, hey, Mo, so damn glad to rip shit Villa a new one after a whack loss to them. Where are you watching the elections? The Twitter page of Barcelona, or X, I guess. If you go to X and you type in the search bar FC Barcelona, you will get the official X page of Barcelona, and there they have a live feed, and the feed says the counting of ballots has begun. It looks like they're gonna be working through the night, I guess, because right now I think it's 10 p.m. in Spain. So yeah, but no, there's no official winner declared. I don't know where people get it from, the 69.4%, or that might be the results of maybe a poll. But right now, officially speaking, unless someone knows something I don't know, but officially speaking, this is directly from Barcelona's pages. There is no winner right now. They just started counting the ballots. They're just right now opening the ballot boxes and counting the ballots. So there is no winner yet. And last comment, but Abi Homon says, I felt Frankie was needed in the match, but I know Bernal has much more potential to grow. He will be the next Rodri. Yeah, man. Wow, Bernal. So can you imagine had he not gotten injured last season and he would have played the full season, right? Because he was starting, right? People forget. Bernal was like, how long did he play? 3-4 weeks? He started in all the matches at the beginning of the season. And then obviously a tragedy happens. So he's out an entire year. But can you imagine had he played that entire of last season? This season, he would be so much better because he would have had a full year or a full season of experience. You know, it's absolutely a travesty what happened to him injury-wise, but let's hope he can stay healthy and he can continue growing, developing, and everything. And Kule 767 says, hi, Mo. Hopefully someone serious runs for President 2030. Laporta improvisation is probably better than Font for the moment. I hope so, too. I was very disappointed with these elections. I watched, like I said, the last debate. I was going to make a video about it, but honestly, nothing new was said in those debate. Nothing new that the candidates haven't said already a million times. And I was very, very disappointed. I mean, it was just Laporta and Font constantly talking over each other, constantly interrupting each other, constantly throwing jabs at each other. It was very, very disappointing. I didn't see two guys running because they want what's best for Barca. I saw two guys who were just there for ego, right? It's like, I'm better than you, fuck you, so I want to win. And that was very disappointing. My ideal candidate would probably be somewhat a combination of both because Laporta is incredibly charismatic, is a very likable guy, but the problem is he improvises. He doesn't have, like, he literally has no platform, right? He hasn't told us a single plan, a single idea, anything that he plans to do for the next 5 years. Like nothing. He literally has no platform. But he's very, very charismatic. Victor Font, on the other hand, is more of a serious guy who has a plan and all that in place, but he cannot communicate his plan because he's a charisma black hole. And he focused too much on criticizing Laporta, and he made his whole campaign about Laporta rather than making the campaign about himself. So my ideal candidate would be someone with the charisma of Laporta, but with the seriousness of Font. Right now, honestly, the two of them are, God help us. Regardless of who wins today, I think the real losers here are us, the fans, the Sochis, because I was not convinced by either one. Incredibly disappointing elections. Let's hope 2030 carries something better. Ahmad Ashraf says, hey, Mo, I see Hector Fort as the attacker fullback that will help Yamal a lot, and Xavi Spot like the defensive right back. Actually, Xavi Spot is a very attacking-minded fullback. I think him and Fort have kind of like similar profile attacking-wise. Abimono says, did you vote? No, because Laporta took away the online voting. So the only way you could vote is if you were in Barcelona. And obviously, I'm not in Barcelona. I'm at home. I will be in Barcelona on Friday, but by then, the election will be over. Ekule says, Font has valid points about Laporta's wrongdoing problems. He has no proposals to do better. The problem is we didn't hear about the proposals, right? He was too focused on hitting at Laporta, and that's where he made a fatal mistake because he should have never made it about Laporta. He should have made it about his ideas, right? Because Laporta literally has no platform this selection. He literally his campaign was all about going out there and socializing with people and, eating macaroons and driving a tractor truck. And that was literally his platform. It was a populist platform. It was a populist campaign. Like, hey, I'm the charismatic, likable guy. And I say things like, fuck Iban de la Peña and fuck the referees. And, it was just a populist campaign. I think if had Victor Font actually focused on his ideas and said, look, this is my ideas. This is what I plan to do. I think he would have had a better shot. But he made it so much about Laporta that he didn't help himself. Wait, there's an announcement right now. Hold on, let me hear. Where's the volume?
De la votació a les 21 hores.
Someone is talking.
I tal vegada, doncs...
Josep Cubells just came out and started talking.
Per tal de comunicar-vos...
Here. You guys hear it, right?
El darrer tant per cent de votació, que és del 42,34%, és a dir, 48.480 vots.
42.3%.
En seus, a Barcelona és de 43.282, Girona 2.223, Tarragona 1.672, Lleida 741 i Andorra 562. Aquesta és la darrera compareixença per explicar el tant per cent de participació. Podreu seguir l'escrutini mitjançant la informació que anirà donant el
They're giving the
club
numbers from
fins
the
al
different
100%.
polling stations.
La propera compareixença ja nostra serà per la proclamació de la candidatura guanyadora. Fins a tal moment, m'acomiado i ens veiem en breu. Gràcies.
Okay. Nothing has happened. That's cool. Good to know. I think K. Bodden just announced the number of ballots from each ballot station. I think that was all. But yeah, so they reported that 42.34% of the ballots have been counted. I don't know, but there's no announcement. He just came out and gave a bunch of numbers. I think they were just reporting on the number of ballots that each voting station received. But there is no official winner yet. They're going to continue counting the ballots. So, well, of course, we'll announce it when they do. But yeah, let's do one last comment and then we'll end this. But Kule767 says, Bo, if we don't reach 1-1 rule this summer, the Sochis need to consider to pull a motion of censure on Laporta. This is not acceptable for a club with a 1 billion turnaround and not have fair play after 5 years. Well, the problem is we keep spending more than we're bringing in. So, but I mean, you ain't wrong. Anyways, Abimona says don't know Spanish. That wasn't Spanish. Don't worry. That was Catalan. Anyways, that is all, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for tuning in. Special day for Barcelona. A victory, 3 points, 4 ahead of Real penalties. That goal, the north goal is open now. The supporters section are back. Gabi is back. It's elections day. It's a beautiful day to be a Barcelona fan. And therefore, it's a great way to say, Visca el Barça, Visca Catalunya. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.